Hi, everyone. Hope you all are doing great and had an awesome day. A very warm welcome to you all on behalf of Agile PeopleOps. Me, Tejasvi, Community Manager, and your host today, would like to thank you all for joining us for the community event. And the topic is growth mindset and servant leadership. Growth mindset is becoming increasingly popular in today's world. And to keep on growing in life, we must keep on learning from things that happen around us. Many people are of opinion that learning stops after you complete your education, but it isn't so. You learn and grow in every moment of your life. Learning is only effective when you start implementing the wisdom and knowledge you get in your life. When individual believes that they can improve their abilities, intelligence and talent through their efforts, that means they are stepping into growth mindset, and it's the main agenda today. So, before I proceed and introduce our speaker, I would like to invite our country ambassador, Uzoma, to have a welcome note to all.
Thank you so much, Teju. I'm sure everybody can hear me. Can everyone hear me? I just wanted to be sure. Okay, Teju, not you. Can everyone hear me? I want people from the Nigerian aspect. Can you all hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, we can hear you.
We can. Okay. I'm not certain that yes, I have people on this call that can hear me because everywhere is just so silent. We want this section to be interactive, engaging, and also exciting. So because my colleague Teju has already said it all, the growth mindset and servant leadership is very, very important. You can't do anything if you don't have the right mindset. You will be in the dark. But when you have the right mindset in place, that is the process of growth in whatever you're doing. So at this point, I just want to say good evening and good afternoon and good morning in whatever country that you belong. Thank you so much for making out this time to actually engage in this wonderful webinar. The last webinar we had was in the month of September, and because learning is a growth process, so we've actually made it a culture that on every three months, there must be a particular webinar that will always come up just to educate our team and also any other person that is interested to join the Agile PeopleOps of the Nigerian community. We really, really appreciate you people for joining this time, and also appreciate you people for actually making out this time also, because I'm sure you all are busy in your own busy schedule, but you just provided this time for you to learn. And I'm sure, and I've said it before, it's going to be exciting, engaging, and educative. So host for today, our facilitator, which is Madam Serika, will definitely give you everything you want. Please feel free to ask your questions. When you are not getting it right, ask questions. We are all here to learn, and learning is part of growth. So I wish you all the best, and I want to say a big thank you from my heart. I appreciate you all, and I also want to thank the management of the Agile PeopleOps for all they've been doing, and I'm sure we are going to continue putting smile in their faces and doing the right thing that is expected of us. So keep learning and enjoy this webinar. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Uzoma. So now, let me not take much time of yours and introduce our speaker of the day, Sarika Gupta. She is a PeopleOps director and coach at Cultural Legends. And as a human-centered leader, she is passionate about elevating the people's experience within the company and continuously strives to leverage a constructive culture between and across the diverse distributed team. She loves to use a mentoring and coaching toolkit to bring the best out of people. So here you go, Sarika. The stage is yours now.
Thank you so much, Teju, and thank you so much, Azuma. Thanks for organizing this webinar today. And you both of you have wonderfully, explained growth mindset already. And I must say, all those who are here for this webinar today, the The very fact that they are here today shows that they have that growth mindset and they are here to learn something new from us, right? So let's begin. Can you change the slide, please, Teju?
Yes.
So today I'll be running you through the following. Firstly, we'll talk about the APF manifesto and principles. Then we will talk about the facts of mindset, followed by a breakout room activity. And lastly, we'll talk about servant leadership. And then we'll share what your next step should be post completion of this webinar. Next slide, please, Teju. Yeah. So last time in our last webinar, we introduced you to APF, its manifesto and values. We call ourselves Agile People Operations Framework, APF. So literally, a framework is a set of conceptual structures and guidelines used to build something useful. And when we say that APF is a solution framework for transformation from traditional HR to agile HR, we are basically emphasizing on the guiding principles for the steps that you could take to begin that transformation journey, which would ultimately lead to business agility. And what is business agility? It's nothing but the company's ability to quickly adapt to changes and fluctuations in the business environment. And the faster a company adjusts to its business strategy, the higher its business agility. Now, there's one question that comes to everybody's mind as to how to go ahead with this transformation process. We always talk about this transformation, change, how to go about this. See, it's not a rocket science at all. If the leadership is the initiator of the transformation in an organization, the very first step that they could go ahead with is to revisit the organization structure that they are following. Start devising a flexible and not so authoritarian structure. Secondly, incorporate team of teams culture, wherein people from various domains come together and work towards achieving organizational goals. And further, they should encourage their managers to become good coaches and be supportive in their role. And when it comes to employees, they should always be open to learning. Constant learning and taking frequent feedbacks will keep that moving up the learning curve. And after learning, of course, try to implement it in your own way and be that initiator of change at your level. And while doing this, don't be scared of failures at all, because initially people will resist. But slowly, when they see you succeeding in your endeavors, they will follow the suit, definitely. Can you change the slide, please, Teju? So in the last webinar, we talked about manifesto. Those who want the recording of that webinar can get it from Teju and Uzoma. You may even mention it in the chat box here today, and they will share it later with you. There, we spoke of teams over traditional hierarchies. We talked about growth mindset over fixed mindset. We talked about coaching culture over command and control, and cross-cultural competence over cultural competence. Today, we are going to deep dive into growth mindset and servant leadership. Then why we have chosen this to be our topic for today? Because in our last Nigeria webinar, most of the participants, they chose this manifesto as the one that most of them would like to begin with when it comes to initiating that change. Next slide, please, Teju. So to begin with, let's understand the term principles. Principles are objectives. They are undisputable. They are like laws and truths. Essentially, your principles are meant to describe how you relate to people, whether they are customers, employees, stakeholders, or any broader community. They describe how you will behave from a human perspective. What happens when companies don't follow when they say that they follow certain principles? They have these principles, and they show it to everybody, but they don't follow it. Let's understand this thing with an example here. Here is a set of principles for one of the world's biggest manufacturers. The principles that they mentioned and they said they follow. These are integrity. They said they always strive to do the right thing. They said we have servant's attitude. We only exist to serve our internal and external customers. So their concerns are always at the forefront. They mentioned accountability as one of their principles. They mentioned continuous improvement as one of their principles. They mentioned teamwork too. Now tell me, does this sound like a company that perpetrated one of the biggest frauds in the corporate history? A company whose executives gamed with the environmental law, a device in the exhaust system of their vehicles that would make them appear to be within legal emission tolerance limits? A company whose vehicles emitted 35 times the acceptable level of nitrogen oxide in the air for years together before it was even detected? So by now, most of you must have come to know, what we are talking about. We are talking about Volkswagen, one of the most trusted worldwide brand in automobile sector. And the cost Volkswagen has to pay for not following the principles is, in a matter of days, it lost 1/3 of its market cap. It faced $18 billion in potential fines. So the moral of the story is you don't just articulate your principles, you have to live with them. And when it comes to APF lives with the following principles. Begin with its nurture talent experience and engagement. Many organizations are not aware of the fact that many of their employees are not getting that opportunity to shine as much as they would like to or have the potential to. Their efforts are actually not getting recognized and appreciated. So nurturing and helping the individual to grow is the kind of mindset that one should work with. And if you think, that the employee is capable of a bigger and a better role, don't wait for time. Don't wait for that annual increment. Just upgrade him to that level so that he could, go ahead and contribute towards the betterment of the organization. Second is learning and feedback culture. I think we all will agree to the importance of feedback culture. Effective feedback, both positive and negative, is very, very helpful. Feedback is actually a source of valuable information that will be used to make important decisions, be it personal, be it professional, right? No matter in which department you are, human resources, operations, media and marketing, invest time in asking and learning about how others experience working with your organization. Continuous feedback is important across the entire organization. If you want to remain aligned to goals, if you want to create strategies to develop products and services, to improvise those products and services further, and improve relationships and much, much more. So you may know, once you get that feedback, where these gaps exist and how with continuous improvisation and learning, you may fill those gaps. Next comes in the line is focus on human effectivity. Now, based on continuous learning, it is very important that we do the right thing instead of doing the things in a right way. Understand this thing, very clearly here. Doing the right thing instead of doing the things in a right way. If you are in charge, then it is your responsibility to do the things right, to do right things. While if you are following the orders of your boss, then you do things in the right way. Doing things right is all about being efficient. It's, doing what your boss is telling you to do. But doing the right thing is about being effective. And we all look for effectiveness in an organization. So all in all, if we talk, we all have to be intelligently diligent. I hope everybody is getting that point here. In case you want to raise here, you can use the chat box. And later on, I'll be more than happy to answer your questions on this. Next comes in the line is nexus of connection between and within teams. Here we are talking about the shared with customers, with providers. It's all about connecting, collaborating, and co-creating within the teams and with other teams as well. It's not only about teams or within the organization, actually it should happen with customers and clients too. Right. Next comes in the line growth mindset and servant leadership, which is our topic for today too. Having a growth mindset helps you focus on developing. In other words, when we talk of growth mindset, it's all about believing that intelligence, skills, and abilities can be improved against a fixed mindset where people think that they cannot be changed. And as I said, the very fact that you are here shows that you all have a growth mindset. You have that intent of learning something new, right? And about servant leadership begins when a leader assumes the position of a servant in their interactions with their followers. Servant leaders enable others to act not by hoarding the power they have, but by giving it away. It's more about delegating power, delegating work. And last comes in the line is recognize, respect, and reconcile cultural differences. Learn to appreciate and value diverse views. Do not judge views that differ from yours as wrong. Instead, just accept that they are different and try to understand others' point of view. We should always avoid, imposing our own values on others. Instead, we should make a conscious effort to understand what others' perspective is. Try to be that listener, right? Go ahead and be that active listener. Listen to others' perspective before coming to any kind of conclusion here. Next slide, please, Teju. Now, professionally and personally, no one likes to fail, right? Some people are so averse to failures that it becomes paralyzing for them. So when we allow fear to prevent progress in life, we are going to miss great opportunities along the way. And a new research demonstrates that success is determined how we use this F word, failure. It's just that, people with growth mindset, they view failure very differently. What if I can't? Others are better than me. People will think I'm stupid. A fixed mindset person is actually threatened by challenges. But when it comes to growth mindset, that person will have the thought process of, I'll give it a try. Maybe someone can help me out. Everyone has had to learn a new skill. A growth mindset person is motivated by challenges. I'll share a very good example here of Google. Now, Google has studied the concept of team dynamics for years, spending millions of dollars measuring how frequently co-workers eat lunch together. 2, which personality trait fosters collaboration and effective communication? And in 2009, one of the top 3 challenges that the company was facing was high employee turnover due to poor management. So they were all set out to build a better boss. And this initiative was called as Project Oxygen that they have come up with. And the goal was to determine what leadership traits were the most important to a healthy, engaged company culture. And the project culminated in a list of leadership traits named as 8 habits of highly effective Google managers. And you know what? Developing a growth mindset topped the list. So they all believe that growth mindset develops leaders who are more eager to learn. They are ready to challenge themselves and grow and take risks, even if those risks, result in mistakes or failures. They embrace those mistakes and failures with humility so that everyone has a room for growth. And in doing so, managers learn how to be more open to employees' potential for growth. This is the significance growth mindset carries. Can you please change the slide, Teju? All right, thanks. And these mindsets, you see, they aren't second stones. People may have a growth mindset at certain times and fixed mindset at others. And they may have different approaches to different challenges. And their mindset may change over a period of time. And a growth mindset is not something you are actually born with. It's something we can all learn to nurture and develop. It means your brain keeps on changing, adapting, and forming new connections, even if you grow older. And more importantly, it means your cognitive abilities are not fixed. And there is nothing, which is preventing you from learning something new or getting out of your comfort zone. Don't be at the back foot all the time, right? And this is what having a growth mindset is all about. And there are certain myths people carry about growth mindset. Some people say you either have it or you don't have it, which is not true. We all have a mix of fixed and growth mindset that changes, based on our experiences and the feedback that we get. Some people think growth mindset is all about being positive. Yes, it is, but it's much more than that. Growth mindset means taking feedback, learning from experience, and coming up with strategies and improvements. Could you please change the slide, Teju? Teju, have you changed the slide?
Yes, Sarika, I've changed the slide.
Okay. Traditional and annual reviews. So we feed into, this is something, that we feed into a fixed mindset. And a typical review scenario involves employees being given a rating or a rank compared with their peers in order for them to be attributed to a particular bonus or an increment. This is a very common practice that we have in organizations, right? Based on their past experience, past performance, they are being rated. The employees are rewarded only for the historic performance. And that is set up by their managers. This encourages the employees to focus only on narrow criteria for success. It does not promote ownership, innovation, or initiative. So by adopting a growth mindset, however, the outcome of any review is more about rating an individual against themselves, right? How have they developed professionally over the past month or quarter? What have they learned that makes themselves and the work that they do better? It is more about a forward-looking approach, driving development for the future. Right. Could you please change the slide, Teju? Thanks. So in 2014, the then new CEO of Microsoft, Satya Nadella, he embarked on a journey to change the culture of this 40-year-old tech company. And Nadella embraced a growth mindset culture, developing himself as a leader and transforming the culture of Microsoft to be more open, innovative, collaborative, and curious. A company of learn it all rather than know it all. Very important aspect here. There are so many write-ups that are available on Google. Just go ahead and give it a read. You will learn a lot how this fellow has gone ahead and transformed the company altogether. Can we please change the slide, Teju? So what he did is he encouraged, continuous feedback on performance and an expectation that managers encourage learning and new ideas. It's all about creating a safe environment for the employees to express themselves and foster the ownership of solutions to challenges. Obviously, there are other contributing factors too, but this fundamental change has had a dramatic impact on the organization. And since Nadella joined the organization, you know what? Share prices tripled. And then Microsoft announced its record annual revenues. In another instance, I'll share you one more instance with you. He was asked what advice he had for women seeking a pay rise who are not comfortable asking for one, of course. And he answered faith and patience. His comments immediately went viral, provoking outrage, and his commitment to diversity was also questioned. He immediately sent a message to all the employees that his statement was wrong and it should not have been done this way. Even though he is the leader of Microsoft, Satya Nadella was very, very open about his shortcomings. Being open about your shortcomings makes you much more approachable. It allows those around you to grow as well. And he has repeatedly said, that he loves technology, uses it every day, but he also acknowledges that he does not have answers to all the questions. I think this is a great lesson for all of us to learn from here. It also helps with trust and respect, which I think both are essential things, if you want people to follow and look up to you. He also said several times that Microsoft needs people willing to make a change happen and make it happen now. Look at the readiness of this person for a change for better. And that is, we all should also be doing in our personal and professional lives. Be ready for a change. Can we change the slide, Teju? Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
A simple way, to start changing to growth mindset is by the use of this little word, yet. Little, yet very powerful. This one person, Carol Susan Dick, if I don't mention her name here, this whole webinar will remain incomplete. She is an American psychologist and a professor of psychology at Stanford. And Dweck is known for her work on mindset. She has beautifully explained the significance of yet. The power of the small word allows for success. Now let's watch this video and later on we'll discuss about this. Could you please play the video, Teju?
Activate the audio, please.
It's not audible, Teju. Still not audible, Teju.
It's not audible, Sarika?
No, it's not, Teju. In case it's not working that way, can we share the link of this video with everybody in the chat box and maybe give them some time to watch?
Yes, I think so. Teju, we can do that.
Yes,
Just
we
share
can do.
the link. Yes, share the link of the video for them to just view. Because it would be nice for them to view it. And if they have any questions, we can answer from there.
Can we share the link? Sarika?
Yeah, Teju.
Can you share the link?
Okay, let me check if it's available with me. Just a moment. Huh?
Is it audible now?
Yes, it is.
What's really
Yes, it is.
interesting about this mindset concept is how prevalent and how much actually switch from one to the other quite simply. So we've been studying.
Should I play it from the beginning?
The literature and across
Yeah, sure, Teju. Now it's okay. It's audible.
Right. Now here's the basic concept. Fixed mindset, you're trying to look good, prove that you're good. In a growth mindset, you just don't care about how you're just trying to improve yourself, right? You're just fascinated by getting better. See how relevant that is to the time? Organizations need to be obsessed by not trying to get it perfect, but just by getting better. Particular with service transformation. Now, here's the really interesting news. We've taught this to hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people. Excuse me, we have data showing that over 90% of teach this. Actually, every week they shift at least one thing from fixed to growth mindset. And about a quarter of people, literally every day, shift from a fixed to a growth mindset. And one of the ways they do that is literally adding one word, incredibly simple word. It's when you notice yourself saying, hey, I'm just not good at this, technology stuff. Or I'm not good at this working from home stuff. Or I'm not good at this hybrid work. Or I'm not good at all this change. Or I'm just not a digital person. Add one word, and that word, I'm just not good at this, digital transformation yet. Just not good at all this, this hybrid work yet. And adding this one word, it's not the only way to create growth mindset. Adding this one word is the simplest way, the fastest way. What you'll see as you start doing this is that it's actually transformational, and studies we've seen it literally changes how you process the world in the brain. So this is an incredibly important, very measurable habit that you can put into your organization.
Thanks, Teju. I think the video is over. All right. Thank you so much, Teju, for reminding me of breakout sessions. So I hope everybody enjoyed the video. In case you are not able to hear it properly, Teju will share the link in the chat box, and maybe you can listen it out later on. Now, to understand this concept in depth, let's go into this breakout rooms and do this activity, this power of this world yet. In this activity, what you'll have to do is you'll have to identify, discuss, and list out 5 yet statements which you could use with your team and other employees. And for this, what you have to do is identify your can't. As a rule of thumb, if you believe you cannot do something, chances are that will fail even if you try. If you believe you can't lose weight, you won't. If you cannot penetrate a certain market, you are most likely to put in less effort and eventually fail at it too. And the key here is detecting your can't and adding to your yet. Say, for instance, as this fellow has said, I can't do this yet. I don't know this yet. I'm not good at this yet. So what you have to do is list out 5 yet statements which you can use with your teams and other employees. Now, Teju will open those breakout rooms for all of you. Teju,
Sarika, how many rooms? We have 28 participants at present with us right now. So how many in a room you would like to have?
7 people in a room, Teju.
Okay.
7 to 8 people.
So we can have 3 rooms?
Yeah, sure. Excluding you, me, and Uzoma.
Yeah. Okay, I have opened 4 rooms.
We'll be giving 10 minutes of time for everybody to discuss this thing. And after 10 minutes, we'll close the rooms. And then post that, we'll discuss it in the main room.
Yeah.
Now, all of you must have got that pop-up in front of you on your screens. Please go ahead and join that particular room.
Please join, and do your yet and can't statements. We'll be expecting to hear from you all.
Hello, so I didn't get any pop-up on my own screen.
Okay. If you're not able to join, I'll assign the rooms. Okay, no problem. The one who are able to see the.
Okay, should that? Okay, yeah, okay, it's up now.
Okay. Yes, I can see that participants are joining the room.
Teju will start our time when everybody joins the room.
Yes, Sarika.
Okay.
Yes, everybody have joined the room, Sarika.
No one is left, Teju, in the main room, right? One is there, Jessica, I could see, is still
No,
there in
Sarika.
the main.
Everyone are here. Okay. Okay, I think they are not able to join the rooms. I am reassigning them.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, I've done that.
Okay.
I've done that, Sarika. Yes, Sarika.
Okay, Teju, I could still see people in the main room, Teju.
Mhm. Okay. The one who are not able to join, I have assigned them once again.
Okay. We request all of you to
And,
join the room been assigned by Teju.
Okay. Now I guess everyone is able to join the rooms. Few of them are, I guess, they have some issues in joining the room, Sarika.
Okay, okay. No worries,
Yeah.
Teju. So we have 9 people in room number 1 and 8 people in room number 2.
Yes, few of them, when I have assigned them the different room, I think they haven't joined that room and they have shifted to another room.
Okay.
Beauty, you can join any of the rooms of your choices, but just get the assignments done. Okay, I'm sure they've all joined.
Yes. So let's start checking the timings, Teju here.
Yes.
10 minutes from now. Yeah.
Okay. I can see many of them have joined room number 2.
Yes. Room number 2 has quite a good number of people.
It
9
doesn't matter.
participants.
Yes.
It doesn't really count as far as they can get the assignments done. Oh, God.
And few of them, it seems to be they haven't joined the room.
Yes.
Maybe because they have issue in joining, or might be Some other reason? Okay. Okay, it seems like few of them have joined from two different devices. Maybe that might be the reason they are still available here and also in the rooms they are.
Okay, no problem, Teju.
Okay, yeah. So we'll be waiting for 8 more minutes, Sarika.
Yes, Teju.
Okay.
10 minutes. We'll give them 10 minutes and post that we'll close the rooms. It'll take 1 minute
Yeah.
for the room to get closed.
Yes. Jessica, I have assigned you room number 4. In case if you're able to join, could you please join the room? Okay. Now I can see in the room number 1, there is a discussion happening. Okay, Damilula has joined from 2 different devices.
Okay, Teju.
Yeah. Okay, how many more minutes is left?
5 more minutes to go. Teju, can you please broadcast this?
Okay. I've sent the message to all.
Okay, Teju, thank you. Did you keep the details of the participants who are in various rooms, in all the rooms, and we'll might have to call out names, for them to share their experiences in the breakout room.
Okay.
If you want, you can even take the screenshot.
Okay, Uzuma, can you do that for me?
Taking of the screenshots.
Yes.
Okay, no problem.
Of the room and the participant details.
Of the rooms, okay.
Okay. How many minutes left out, Sarika?
2 more minutes to go, Teju.
Okay. What do you think, Sarika? They'll be having the good discussion in the breakout room.
Hope so, Teju. Let's hear from them only. Let them come back and
Okay. Yes, yes. Because it seems to be it seems to that they are having a good discussion. That is the
conversation.
reason.
Yes.
Yes, yes. That is the reason why they aren't still here yet.
Which is good. You can start closing
Yeah.
the rooms because it'll take
Right.
1 more minute for the rooms to
Yes.
get closed.
Yes, absolutely. Okay. I've given the message and I have started closing the room.
Okay.
And the rooms will be closing in another 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Join the rooms so that I can just take a screenshot of all of them.
Okay. Thank you so much, Uzoma.
I've been able to do that for group 1. So I'm here to do group 3, 2,
yes,
and 4.
Yes, I have taken the screenshots as well.
Awesome. Oh, thank you. That's why we are a team. Awesome.
Okay. So I think most of them are back. Welcome back, everyone. How was your experience? Tell me. You can unmute yourself or maybe share it in the chat box if you want.
There are still some of them in the room. Then I think maybe you should close all the rooms, Teju.
Yes, I have closed the rooms.
Awesome.
Can any one of you
Yes, I
come
have.
forward and share your experience? how your experience has been in the breakout room. Let's hear from room number 1 first. Uzuma, who all were there in room number 1?
I think than calling out their names, Sarika, we should give this opportunity to them because here we are when speaking about growth mindset,
Of
the
course.
mindset
Yes,
has to be
absolutely.
changed, right? So they have to come forward
Yeah,
and they should take the
exactly.
initiative.
They
They should
should
take
take
the
the lead.
initiative
Exactly. I
and
support you, Teju. I support your words.
Sure, sure. Let's wait to hear from them then. Who all were there in room number 1? Can any one of you come forward and share your experience? Tell us what is it
Adiza,
that you have
Adiza,
taken down.
please, group 1, can you just say something so we can proceed to the next group?
Okay, for group 1, well, we couldn't meet up with the time because we started late. So I think one of the examples, starting or looking at digitalization, like company moving their processes online these days. And well, I work with a tech company, so one of the examples is we cannot fully. Oh, sorry, let me read it as we have typed. So we cannot integrate all our work processes online fully at once. Yet we can start by migrating gradually. So that's one. So I think instead of having the mindset of like, yeah, let's we cannot do this or we should stick with the manual. How about we start migrating gradually? We start introducing this change to our team, to the company. Then as time goes on, when we think we're ready to fully be online, then we can be. So I think that's number one for us. And the second is in the issue of probably when you have someone delegating work to you. And this, I think, is for individuals. When you have an instances whereby a senior manager is telling you, can you do this? Even if you cannot meet up or you feel like it's not something you can do, you can answer like, well, I'm not sure I can meet up or I cannot complete this task within this timeline, but or yet I will try my best and delegate the rest. Something like that. So that's the little we can bring up.
All
wonderful.
right. Thank you so much for sharing
Thank you
that
so
with us. So tell me, was it your individual sentences, formulations, or was it a group activity that you did in the room?
Please, I didn't get the question.
Yeah, I was just asking you, was these your individual statements or was it a group activity that you did in the room? Did
Well,
everybody?
we did it in the room. Yes, we did it in the room. Yes, in the room.
Okay, so it was a group activity and everybody contributed to these statements which you have shared just now, is it?
Well, you can say that.
Okay, that's great. That's
No,
great.
I
That's
would
We
not
great.
love
agree
the
to
way
that.
you have people have
Sarika,
come up with these kind of statements. Yes, Uzoma.
Sarika, I will not accept to that. There's nothing, it kind of, is either a yes or a no.
Yes,
So you,
it's a yes. Of course, we did it in the group. Yeah, we did it in the group, and everyone consented. We actually saw reasons behind it, and after explaining why this should be this, everyone consented. So I think yes, it's a group work. Not I think.
Wonderful.
Okay.
thank
So
you. That's
tell
the
me,
word I want to
while
hear.
you were creating these statements, while you're phrasing this, what is it that you really felt like? What was the feeling that you were getting at that time when you were using this can't statement and along with that you have used this yet?
Yeah, yes, when the only thing you see is a problem, then you're not looking at probably solutions, or you're not even saying how you can get it done. But the moment you just change your mind, like, okay, I can do this, then you start seeing opportunities to get it done, and probably people can help you or whatever. So the moment you just have yet, or I think, or but, then definitely there will going to be a way out, and then you can get it done.
Definitely. Thank you so much for sharing this wonderfully with us. Thanks a lot.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks, room number 1. Everybody from room number 1, thanks a lot. Let's hear from room number 2 now. Any one of you could come forward and unmute yourself and share. What are the statements that you have come up with? And there were so many people in room number 2. I hope there is
Yeah.
a lot of discussion might have happened, more than 9 people, right, Teju? Somewhere around
Yes,
9?
absolutely. Yes, absolutely. If
Anyone
you're
of you.
unable to unmute yourself, you can also use the chat box.
Absolutely,
It's
yes.
absolutely fine. You can share it through the chat box as well. And I'm here to read for you. So anyone from the room number 2?
You worked as a team, room number 2. So I think you might have come up with something at least to be shared with us. Don't hesitate. There is no right or wrong here, right? So let's get into a discussion mode. Let's share. I would like to hear your experience too. What is it that you felt like, while you're phrasing these kind of sentences?
Hello, Joel speaking.
Hi, Joel.
Yeah, hi. I okay, I would say we have basically two challenges. Number one is that all my group members joined just at the beginning of the breakout session, so we didn't get the question correctly, and I don't know if we all belong to room number 2 as well, because everybody is quiet, so I don't know. I couldn't see which.
Okay, you weren't aware that you
Fine.
were from room number 2. Okay, no worries. Then Sarika, let's forget about the room.
If I'm not
Let's
mistaken, was on traffic, so it
Yes.
wasn't a fruitful one for us.
no
Okay.
problem. No
No
problem at
problem.
all.
No problem.
Sarika, we can do one thing. Like we can ask the one who can unmute it themselves, and they can share the
Absolutely, yes.
experience. Joel, if you would like to share the experience, it is completely fine. Just forget about the room that you have joined in. You can just let us know what the discussion was, or how you could give your why statements, yet statements, if you would like to share it.
Hello, everyone. Good evening.
Hi, Chioma.
Evening.
Good evening.
Yeah. Apologies. So I was actually in the room in room 2, but there was actually I think I joined at the point of the breakout session. So I actually didn't get the question, but I think I have an understanding of what the expectations are. But so I hope I'm going to speak out right. Okay, so and I'm going to speak as an individual because there was no activity on the group. Okay,
No worries
so
on that, Chioma.
No
all
problem.
right, thank you. All right, thank you. So I'll go ahead now. So my
Yes.
own contribution will be around in my work experience, sometimes around 2020 when there was COVID. We experienced I work in the fintech space, and there was a time at that time we're not making sales, and a lot of people were demotivated, and we had to downsize. But one of the things about that downsizing, first of all, we had to look at a lot of factors. The first one was maybe performance related issues. But of course, it became a concern to even high performing employees because everybody is afraid, there's so much uncertainties, but one of the things that kept us is we kept, encouraging, as HR people, We kept providing leadership, providing support to say, even though we are through these trying times, yet we'll come out successfully, we'll come out stronger. And at some point, we had to now slash salaries into half. And then I think in the year 2021, it got better, and then the business kicked off again. So I don't know if I was able to say, the yet statement, So that's one of the things around maybe change, organizational change, managing um, managing employees' expectations, and also providing support, knowing that at this time it may be difficult, but yet there's light at the end of the tunnel. Thank you.
Rightly mentioned there, Shioman. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. Yes, I could see, if I got it correctly, you are from fintech sector, which actually is a very volatile and dynamic sector in itself. And yes, even we could see people being given pink slips, and there was downsizing, organizations, doing downsizing a lot during COVID times. But still, you could see, if you use yet along with your can't, yet brings hope. It ignites that can do attitude, and it creates that encouraging environment, right, around yourself. And that is what growth mindset and that is what positivity is all about, right?
Mhm.
Thank you so much, Yohan. Thanks a lot.
Thank
Anybody
you.
else who would like to? Thanks. Anybody else who would like to share their perspective here?
Hi, everybody. Hello.
Hi, is
Yes,
that Samson?
Samson. Yes.
Hi. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm from actually I'm from room 3, but I'm very certain my colleagues also, like my people in the breakout room, also have their respective view to share. So since it is now individual, I'll just pick one from my own experience. So, okay, talking from the recruitment space now. Talking about recruitment now, a recruiter, the job demands the whole of your attention such that it's become so emotional. And in some cases where we have a gap to close, and we are given limited time, you going out there to get a qualified candidate, it's not just getting a candidate for the job, but putting the square peg in the square hole and the round peg in the round hole. So it demands a lot of time. So at some point in time, when I was given a task to source for a candidate, and I'm unable to get a qualified candidate for this task, and the deadline has already come. So I just had to meet with my team lead. Okay, putting the yet phrase now in place, I will have to say I come out this way, that I have not been able to source for a qualified candidate yet, but if I can get more time, I will have to look into a different pool to get the needed candidate for the job. But glory to God, I at least were able to work things out with that. So that's my experience.
Right, Samson. Thank you so much, Samson, for sharing that. I could hear that can-do attitude in your statement. Thank you so much.
I am welcome.
Right. Do we have anything in the chat box here, Teju?
Ramol have mentioned he was not able to complete the task. Like he mentions, I think that I didn't complete it. A mission or task yet means that not mean that you can't or should not try or give up. That's my point of view. And sorry, I was late. No problem, Ramol.
So it's real time, issue.
Yes,
Right,
absolutely.
Ramon. Ramon, thank you so much. Thanks a lot. All right, let's move on to our next slide, Teju. Thank you everyone for participating in the breakout rooms. And I hope that session was really interactive, in your own rooms and you really enjoyed it. Let's move on to the next slide, Teju.
Yes, Sarika, I've moved on.
Thank you so much. So let's talk about servant leadership now. The great leader is seen as a servant first. Beautiful words being written by Robert Califf. And this short quotation, a fragment of a sentence, is from an essay written in 1970 that captures the essence of this servant leadership theory. And these words, servant and leader, are usually thought of being as opposites. So, in deliberately bringing these two words together in a meaningful way, Robert Greenleaf gave birth to this paradoxical term, servant leadership. And in years since then, many of today's most creative thinkers are writing and speaking about. And lately, it is the most talked about topic, servant leadership. It is actually an emerging leadership paradigm here. Please change the slide, Teju. So you could see, following are the traits that a servant leader should possess. And the first one to begin with is about listening, which is of utmost importance. He or she listens to what is being said or unsaid. Active listening at work is particularly very, very important. And it helps you, to understand problems, to collaborate, to develop solutions. It also showcases your patience, which is a valuable asset at the workplace. Listening also encompasses here listening to your own inner voice. So, whenever you're in a situation, pause and listen to others and to your own self too, and you will be able to reach out to solutions. When we talk of empathy, then Greenleaf writes, the servant always accepts and empathizes, never rejects, and they are accepted for who they are. When we talk of awareness of what is going around in your organization with the employees, keep your eyes and ears open all the time. Without awareness, you miss those leadership opportunities. When we talk of persuasion, if you see any of your employees is in a disagreement with the group, listen to him first. Try to understand. And then if you want to change this to an agreement state, then gentle persuasion is required. Good servant leaders, they never exert pressure on their employees to agree to certain situation. And most of the leaders who are servant leaders, they have that gift of foresight. But servant leaders are specially skilled at that. They're especially skilled at leading into the future from alongside or from behind them. And the best leaders are very, very clear. Servant leaders serve their followers by meeting their needs and teaching their followers to become leaders of their own, to continue to pass down this tradition like leadership style. And by allowing their followers to become leaders and providing the skills and tools necessary to do so. And there is a sense of community and common goodness, that arises out of it. This is a food for thought for everyone here. Why is person called a leader? Because a leader is somebody who could see what others could not see. He is able to do what others could not do. And have you ever seen, anybody who is a leader saying that treat me like a leader? If as a leader you are displaying all these attributes which you could see, people will raise you to that level or to that position of a leader. Right? A food for thought for everybody here. Just have a good look at all these traits and later on think about all these attributes. Think how you can inculcate it in your personal life. Could you please change the slide, Teju? So one more, we have two more examples here out of this. This first example is that of over 40-year-old Southwest Airlines, which is Dallas-based. And this company sustains its image as the best of the rest with ideal customer service by an abundance of workers to over millions of customers on an yearly basis. So much so that Southwest Airlines business model has made it arguably the only consistently profitable airlines in the world. And compared to other airlines, Southwest Airlines always think of employees first. Very, unlikely, you see. People always talk of customers first, but Southwest Airlines always thinks of employees first. So it gives same importance to the employee care as it gives respect to the customers. And the CEO, Herb Keller, he says that if employees are happy, they are satisfied, they are dedicated, they are energetic, they will really take good care of the customers. And then when customers are happy, they will come back. And that makes the shareholders happy too. Look at the ideology, look at the approach that he is having. And Southwest is profitable because of two factors. It's low cost and the loyalty to its customers. And the company employs a very unique recruitment procedure here that helps the company to win the top performing employees. And this could be one of the takeaways too from this session today. The company is led by the principle that it's better to employ unskilled people with good attitude than employing skilled people with bad attitude. This strategy has helped the company to absorb innovative employees. Whenever you get time, just give it a good read. Learn more, about how people work, how these successful CEOs work, what are the practices that they follow. Let's change the slide, Teju. The second example I was talking to you about was about Art Barter. Now, this fellow is founder and CEO of Servant Leadership Institute and advocates walk the talk. He says, you have to invest time in people you are working with. Make them understand the values and beliefs that you have and you follow. And if you work with a sense of clarity, then there is more likelihood of them being happy and satisfied, and they are able to align organization and personal goals, and they will be able to work in a much better manner. One more good read for you for today. Learn about bartender. I can't, explain more about this thing. There's a lot to be learned from this person, because otherwise this session will go on and on. Right? Let's change the slide, Teju, please. And lastly, now it's time for all of you to reflect upon, you could say. So what is the level of trust that you share with your team, with stakeholders, and even at personal level with your relatives? Think about it. And do you think servant leadership should be there or has a place in your organization? What is more important to you? Serving yourself or serving others? What will be your first step to be a servant leader? This is a food for thought for all of you here today. Give it a thought. And if you could share your responses with us later on, we would be more than happy to hear from all of you on all this. What is your perspective on each and every, aspect? So that's all from my end today here. Over to you, Teju. And thank you so much, everyone, for being here for this webinar.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Sarika. That was a wonderful session, and thank you so much for it. And now I think let's go ahead and take the questions from the participants. If anyone would like to ask any questions, please feel free to unmute yourself. And also you can, if you're unable to unmute yourself and speak, please use the chat box so that, or also you can raise your hand and ask the questions. If you would like to have any questions, please.
Thank you, Monique.
Okay.
See, if you don't have questions, and if this is something, that you can't think of right now, just let me know what is your today's takeaway from this session. What is that you have liked the most about, or maybe disliked the most about? You can use the chat box too. If you want, you can unmute yourself.
Yes.
Okay,
Okay.
Vane.
Oman says there is so servant leadership without empathy. There is no
Absolutely.
servant
Absolutely.
leadership without empathy.
Very rightly understood. Thank you, Chioma. Thank you,
Okay.
Florence.
Okay. One more says a growth mindset is knowing that you may not get it right now, but you can try it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I hope all of you, implement and try to practice this growth mindset and servant leadership at your own level, in your own way, in your personal and professional lives.
So if any one of you, if you do not have any questions right now, so as you can see on the screen, that we will be back on February 15th once again for our next session. So we would like to know and hear from you, rather we deciding what to be presented in front of you. We would like to know from your end that you would like to specifically mention any of the topic or um, any certain or the specific topic you would like to know more about and you want us to present it, please let us know. Please feel free to let us know because we would love to hear from you and would like to know what would be the specific topic which you would like to learn from us. We would be happy to do so. Right, Sarika?
Yeah, absolutely right, Teju. It would be
Yes,
better.
Florence. We Yes, Sarika, please go ahead.
I think Florence has shared her email ID.
Yes, Florence. We would be sharing the recording with you.
And I think better we hear from our participants today as to what they would like to cover up, like us to cover up, next time in our next webinar, which will be on 15th February. Thank you, Alemi.
Yes, here we have one more from Alemi. She says, servant leaders are full of right mindset, skill set, and tool set. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. And it's not impossible to achieve at all. Nobody is a born servant leader. Everybody can become one. Remember that.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so since nobody has any questions right now, so if possible, could you all unmute yourself once and unmute your, like, can you show up your happy faces with us?